But over to Velo. This was a stock that really had a great run up. I brought those two high flyers. I know a lot of people like to look for stocks that pull back to those consolidation zones, kind of previous breakout levels. And Velo, yeah, it's kind of a little lesser known name, additive manufacturing, but a lot of exposure to aerospace and defense, etc. And that's why it ran up this week. A lot of people were positioning around, the big IPO today. But, I really like this kind of pulling back to those previous breakouts kind of from last year and then as well this week. And then just kind of looking for bounces off of that. Now, if it breaks down, breaks support, that would be an ignore. But I really like this pullback, just kind of giving a little bit of different charts because the two stocks, obviously, earlier just been straight vertical, a little bit of a different technical pullback idea here.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that you brought this to us, Tim, and also some of it's just perspective. I'm a giant, so Rachel is a smaller human, but I'm not helping the setup at all with my height. But as we look at Velo here, it is a very different chart, and we have seen that pullback of late, but it has still been having momentum on its side for most of the year. The pullback just very near term.
Definitely. So I'm kind of seeing a similar thing in the chart as well. So one of the things that I think is very, promising for this stock with this breakout is the fact that we just completed this larger cup and handle pattern with the handle right around down here, the cup of resistance that we broke through, and that's right around $24 or so. In the short term, that's going to act as a level of support here. Now, with this breakout, we are seeing that from the initial move from highs to lows of this basing pattern, we are hitting that first level of Fibonacci resistance, our first profit-taking zone right around the 161.8% retracement. This could lead us to, of course, finding support here in the short term, but that next high up above, should we see a bounce at support here, would be roughly that 200% retracement around 39 or so. I do want to mention something pretty critical here. When we do see a breakout in relative strength and we see price breaking out at the same time, usually it is a little bit of a sign that this could be one of those names that could be possibly not just showing relative strength versus the overall sector as industrials overall, but also could end up being a leader on an absolute basis too.
All right, and as we look at your second chart that you've got here with that setup that you just gave us for potential to be a leader in this name, but also with this pullback that we're seeing today, we're still down close to 13%. What are you seeing longer term here?
So longer term, we are actually seeing this fractal pattern take shape. So we saw a shorter cup and handle pattern, which I will show here. This is what we just looked at, was this shorter term cup and handle. But we can actually take a step and zoom out and see that this entire cup and handle acts as a larger handle for this overall basing pattern that we've seen really ever since Velo has begun trading, and we just crossed above that longer term resistance level. Now that handle that we saw, we have the anchored VWAP from the first day of trading really coming in at that short term support there around 14, so that would be quite a bit of a pullback here, but again, that is a long term level. If we look down at the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence, we do see just over the past 2 weeks, we have had a bullish crossover here. It is in a long-term bullish momentum regime, so still very supportive of this overall technical structure that has been broken. I think in the short term that traders will be looking for a close above the high of the low day, giving us confirmation of a support bounce here overall for a longer term, very bullish pattern that we have.
All right. Right now, we've got them trading at 26.70, even with this move to the downside today, this pullback we're seeing on Friday. Really appreciate you breaking everything down for us today. That's Rachel Deshelle. And of course, Tim Bowen joining us from the floor of the NYSE. But I'm holding you to that Chicago commitment. You're going to join us here in July. Thanks again, Tim. Really appreciate you taking the time.